John, we're getting ready to
do a podcast. Please keep to yourself.
Why do you always order 60 chicken nuggets?
Welcome to What's the Buzz, the podcast that keeps you informed and entertained on all things pest control. I'm Jordan.
I'm Shawn.
And together we're here to buzz through the world of pests, big and small, from the latest in pest management techniques to the fascinating facts about the critters we all love to hate. We've got the insights you need. It's another week, and we're here once again to share our expert advice, real-life stories, and practical tips to help you and keep your home pests free. So sit back, relax, and get ready to discover what's really buzzing in the world.
That's good.
Hi, Shawn.
What's up, Jordan?
Not a lot. How are you?
Too bad. Episode 22.
22.
Questions and tasty treats.
Tasty treats.
Tasty treat.
What do you mean by tasty treat?
I guess we'll find out here in a few minutes, right?
All right.
So,
That's so.
I got a joke, though. I want to start off with a joke.
Oh, okay.
Two fish are in a tank. One turns to the other and says, "Any idea how to drive this thing?"
Just terrible.
Oh, man.
I also have a joke. Why do ducks have feathers on their tail?
Ooh. I don't know.
To hide their butt quacks.
Oh, God. So let's recap. Moving on.
Yeah.
Recap. Last week's episode, we talked about DIY subscription services.
Mm-hmm.
You want to recap on that real quick?
Yeah.
Just a little bit?
Yeah, pros and cons. Not as many pros as cons, in my opinion. But basically, they send you one product which doesn't target every single pest you may be experiencing. There's different products for different pests for reasons, and that's why we hire a professional.
Absolutely. Along with the training, licensing, expertise, right?
And warranty.
And the warranty.
Yes.
Yep. So, in a nutshell, we could have done the last episode in 2 minutes.
30 seconds even.
So, the majority of today's episode, we're just going to be answering random customer questions that probably more than just that person has wondered. So, maybe it'll help everybody out, right?
Okay. So are we doing like a Q&A where you ask one and then...
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
First question comes from Jennifer from Stratford.
Okay.
What pests are most active during this winter season?
The winter season?
Mm-hmm.
Well, most active, I would say mice would probably be most active. Right now, those freezing temps are making them come inside, find warmth, find food, find shelter for the winter. So I'd say most be mice. Otherwise, I mean, termites are still a big concern this time of year.
Our Cape office actually had a termite monitor.
Yeah.
Hit last week, and
They did.
below 32-degree weather.
Yeah. So it can happen, but I'd say the most active would be mice.
I agree with that.
Okay.
I agree. You got one?
Yes, from Gerald. I'm not sure where Gerald's from, but how can I prevent pests from entering my home?
Ooh. So we've talked about exclusion a lot, right?
Right.
Making sure those cracks and crevices around your house are sealed up, not leaving doors and windows open, trimming the vegetation out from around the home, at least 2-3 feet, keeping it trimmed down. And that's big. And obviously, preventative pest control service, which is something we can handle here at Bug Zero.
Can we?
I think so.
Yeah.
So that's key. Prevent them from entering your home in the first place.
Yeah.
Another question. Ready?
Yeah.
What should I do if I see one pest, and could there be more? This is from Zachariah from Marshfield.
Okay. The first thing you should do is probably go to your room, turn down the lights, and start crying.
That doesn't seem like good advice.
No, probably not. So what I would do, it depends on the pest, you know. Are there more? Could there be more? Most definitely.
Mm-hmm.
There are a lot of social insects. Ants, social. Roaches are social. If you saw one spider, it may be the only one you see, but that doesn't mean there's not. So what I would do is do an inspection throughout, see if you see anything else. And if you need assistance, call a professional. Come in, do an inspection as well, and do a treatment.
Absolutely. You nailed that one on the head.
Okay. Are pest control treatments safe for people and pets?
Who's that question from? We give shout outs here.
Samuel.
Samuel
Yes.
from
You have all the names. I'm just being honest. I'm making up the names at this point.
Samuel from Bolivar.
Yeah. Samuel from Bolivar.
So are the treatments safe for children and pets? Yes. So
That's kind
with
of
Bug Zero, anyway, a lot of it comes down to our training, our expertise, but we do easiest way I explain it to people is we do a lot of services for vet clinics. We do sensitive areas like nursing homes, hospitals, clinics, daycare, schools. So depending on the situation and what we're doing is going to entail what products that we use. So we're never going to do anything to harm pets or children or anything like that.
I would agree with that.
Yeah. And if we are making a application that needs to be made, example like interior flea treatment, nobody's going to be in the home during that treatment anyway, or pets either.
Right.
So
each circumstance warrants a different approach, I guess. So is it safe? Yes, because we're trained to do it safely
and educate you before we're there for treatment.
Exactly.
Awesome. How often should I schedule pest control treatments? That is from Fred from Portland.
Fred from Portland? Okay. How often? Well, we have found that, I guess that depends. It depends on your circumstance. Office buildings and places that may not have as high risk, quarterly suits fine. Restaurants, more things coming in and out every day. Hotels, a lot of people coming in and out every day. Higher risk, monthly is suitable. On our residential side, we find that bi-monthly on the exterior is the most effective way to do it. So it depends, but we've got options for just about everything.
And the reason for that with our insect shield is to be able to detect termites quickly.
Sure.
So,
yeah. That's also why we have to stay on schedule. Because if we go 4 months between, there can be termites there. So,
resume.
All right, Shawn. This one is from Sharon in Sedalia. How can I tell if I have termites or ants?
Well, two different pests you're talking about here. Is it Cheryl? Sharon. My bad. So termite activity. If you have a crawl space, we're looking. When we come for a termite inspection, we're looking at the entire exterior of the home. We're looking in the crawl space if you have a crawl space. We're looking inside the garage because usually a garage has a slab foundation on it. But the only kind of termites that we have here in this part of the state are eastern subterranean termites. So they got to live in the soil in order to survive. So we're looking for shelter tubes that are going from soil up, and or if it's crawl space coming down, or even along the pillars of the house, the support piers. A lot of people don't know that they have termites till they might see a little hole in the drywall. They might see them coming through the drywall, and the reason for that is they don't just feed on wood; they feed on any cellulose material. So they're blind for foragers. They don't know where they're going. So they get through that drywall, and more times than not, will turn around and try to build a shelter tube down the other side of the drywall.
Yeah.
And so those are the main signs we're looking at, along with obvious wood damage.
Yeah.
And for ants, it's pretty easy to spot here in Missouri. I'd say 99% of the time you're going to visually see trailing ants.
Yeah.
Unless we're dealing with carpenter ants too. Do they trail? Yeah, but they can also do some wood damage as well.
Yeah. In the spring, also swarmers.
Yes.
So we get that big first rain. It's nice and warm. It's generally when we're going to find the swarmers, which swarmers are the reproductives of the termite colony.
Mm-hmm.
So, barring finding anything else, those shelter tubes, you'll see those swarmers come out in a certain part of for termites.
Absolutely. All right, cool. Next question. This is from Hammy.
Hammy?
That's
okay.
I'm reading the question.
I want to make sure I address Hammy correct.
From Hammy. He lives in Hartville.
Okay.
What are the signs of a rodent infestation?
rodent infestation. Well, Hammy, I think the first sign you'll probably notice is droppings. You may also find a nest. That's probably the first thing that I found when I had a mouse in my garage one time.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, their nests,
I found droppings first.
droppings, what I said, or just a minute ago. But yeah, I mean, most of the time when we get a call, it's because someone's found droppings or they've seen an actual mouse running through somewhere. But nests, droppings, or physical mice themselves.
And typically you're not gonna see mice just get up and across the middle of the floor. They only do that when they get spooked. They get spooked easy. Their eyesight's really bad. The three blind mice actually has some truth to it. So they like to stay close to walls, close to where they can get their whiskers up against the wall and know where they're going.
Yeah.
So me recently, my garage is the first thing I seen when I cleaned off. We moved, we got new furniture. Moved the old couches out to the garage, and I had the wrapping and the cardboard from the new sectional on top of it, and I went to go clean it up and seen a bunch of mouse droppings on those couches I put out there. It's like, those weren't here when I moved that out there. And one thing we look for too with our section show clients when they say, hey, we've seen some mouse droppings, or at one of our commercial accounts is, well, what color are those droppings? Yep. Because if they're green, that means they've been eating our bait and nothing really to worry about.
Right.
Or are they old or new?
Good points there, buddy.
So,
all right.
absolutely.
This one is from Amber down in Anderson.
Amber from Anderson.
Why do I keep getting spiders in my basement or attic?
Well, that's a great question. Attic spaces are prime habitat for spiders, especially brown recluse.
Right.
When we focus on brown recluse treatments, we're focusing on the attic, and they do get their name for a reason. They don't like to be around people, and so it's a secluded spot. There's other insects in the basement and the attic, and spiders feed on other insects, and so brown recluse and other spiders too. But a lot of times, the exterior walls of the home will go from foundation to attic, and so it's kind of like a highway for spiders to move up and down from basement to attic, vice versa. That's why the preventative maintenance is so important, because we do treat those wall voids. And so,
great job, Shawn.
Hey, you're welcome.
What's next?
Let's see. This is Sarah from St. Louis. It's a long ways away.
Wow.
She related to somebody?
I don't know. Maybe.
How can I prevent mosquitoes during the warmer months?
Prevent mosquitoes. Well, the first thing you should do is remove any standing water from around your property. Stagnant, standing water. Those container breeding sites can produce so many mosquitoes around your home. Your neighbors too. So if you've got old tires sitting around, encourage them to get rid of those, because any of those can be breeding sites.
Even something as small as a frisbee laying upside down in the holding water.
Dog bowls, rain catchers, anything that'll hold water for an extended period of time. I mean, we've all seen the wigglers in a standing water vessel of some kind. They just
nobody can put a force field around your yard, make it where mosquitoes can't fly in. So one thing I always like to look at when people call with mosquito issues and they live in a subdivision is, well, what's your neighbor's yards look like?
Right.
And it set that expectation, but they live 75% of their life in water. Yeah. A lot of people don't realize that.
Yeah. This next question is from Jamal in Branson.
Jamal in Branson.
What attracts cockroaches to my home, and how can I stop them?
Well, there's 5 main types of cockroaches we deal with here in this part of the state. 4 of those are exterior, occasional type invaders. 1, the German cockroach.
I'm going to keep count here.
What?
So everyone gets all 5.
Okay.
All 5 roaches.
Well, I'm gonna classify the others into one big category.
So 1 is by itself.
1's by itself.
German
cockroaches by themselves. Can they come from the outside? Yeah, but more times than not, it's gonna they're hitchhikers. They get carried in on packages, on deliveries, on coats, purses, backpacks, electronics, used appliances. Uh, and does sanitation play an issue in that as to where, can they be maintained without pest control? It does play a part, but if it's a bad issue, it's sanitation alone is not going to take care of it.
Right.
But they do like the non-sanitary conditions. Your other four cockroaches: American cockroach, Oriental cockroach, wood cockroach,
Pennsylvania wood.
that's Pennsylvania wood roach. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm glad you clarified that. 'Cause
You're welcome.
just like the Eastern subterranean termite.
Yeah, it's important.
It's
if we're gonna address
important, right?
if
You're
we're gonna
right.
address the pests,
You're right.
we're gonna have to name. So that's 3.
No, that's 4. You're right. That's because the fourth one was the never mind. Anyway,
Yeah.
Just what we talked about before when we talked about pests, keeping pests from entering your home. Cockroaches are somewhat type of a moisture pest too, so making sure you don't have a lot of standing moisture around the outside of your home, keeping vegetation cut down, and getting that preventative pest control.
Right.
So
Probably the second most common. You mentioned the Pennsylvania wood roaches. Those really only bother us one point in the year in the fall, and they resemble German cockroaches pretty closely. But those come in like overwintering pests. They get inside, but they die off pretty quickly. They're not an infesting roach. So
yeah. Let's see here. I don't think we're gonna get to all these questions today.
probably not.
We'll cherry pick 3 or 4 more.
Yeah.
What is integrated pest management and how does it work? This is from Elizabeth in Elwood.
Well, how do you explain it?
Integrated pest management is basically not relying on chemical applications. So it involves,
It's more like a plan than anything.
yeah, it involves, exclusion tactics, biological factors, or mechanical, right? Us altering the environment. But it puts more emphasis on green pest control too. Safer for the environment, not developing pesticide resistance is one too when you just do chemical only treatments. So IPM kind of integrates everything into one plan.
It's not just blind treatment. It's using your brain, doing other things besides just applying product.
Yeah.
So,
Scott.
we kind of talked about that. I don't want to mention that. What are the risks of trying to remove pests myself?
Oh, that one is from Josh.
Josh.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
From Jasper. Josh from Jasper.
Arkansas?
No, Missouri. Jasper, Missouri. Joplin.
Oh.
What are the risks of trying to remove pests myself?
Yeah.
We talked about some, right? So, not getting control, not having the training and using the wrong product, and actually making the situation worse by repelling them to different areas instead of eliminating the pest. Safety issues during the application to your family, to pets, to the environment. Getting more to add to that?
Well, I think you pretty well hit it there.
Okie dokie. Let's move on to the next question. Next question comes from Jill from Joplin.
Jill from Joplin?
Yeah, how much does pest control usually cost?
Well, it depends.
Ooh, another it depends answer.
Yeah, it depends what you're dealing with. Bedbug heat treatments can cost thousands of dollars. A one-time, per request, less than a couple $100. It just depends a little bit.
It does depend.
So recurring services, in the long run, cost less than big problems.
Yeah, absolutely. If you wait till there's an issue, it always costs more.
Right.
We can't put you on preventative maintenance until issues are cleared out.
Right.
So
most homes less than $60 a month on insecticide right now. So
$59 to be exact.
Less than 60, right?
All right, all right, all right. This one's from Bill. We just had one from Jill. This one's from Bill from Buffalo. Do I need a one-time service or should I sign up for a recurring plan?
Recurring plan.
Why?
I think we just touched on it, but it's better to be preventative than it is to be reactive. So an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure.
Did you just make that up?
No.
Oh.
But
Yeah, if you call us, and you just want a one-time service and it's May, the chances of us getting to you timely during our busy season, I mean, it might be 6 weeks.
I think our longest this year was, about 6 weeks on those one times. So we do prioritize our recurring clients. So yeah,
Absolutely. You call in and want the recurring service, usually within a week, we're out.
Yeah.
So, last question, we'll move on.
Okay.
This is from Herbie Hancock. He is from Seneca. All right.
Turby?
What areas of my home will you inspect or treat?
All of it.
He is not lying.
No, that initial service, if we're talking specifically homes, is a full inspection of your property. So we draw up that diagram, basically keeps record of everything that happens at your home while you're on service. But crawl space, if you have it, attic, every room that you allow us to go into, we're going to do that first initial treatment, and then the exterior as well. So high volume exterior spray, treatment to the soffits and foundation line. We go everywhere.
And commercially, that's part of my job when I'm there. A lot of people call commercially wanting a quote over the phone. We don't do those. We go do the inspection, and our commercial pricing is just based on generally on time. We have different price structures for different kinds of business, but that inspection by us before the quote gets sent out is what it's crucial. We're looking under, especially in kitchens, looking under cooking equipment, appliances, under tables. We're using our flashlight, finding all those things that we need to address.
Yeah, anything we need to address to get you taken care of as quick as possible. So
let's move on to the second topic of the episode. Talking about insects in food, not really keeping insects out of food. So we're talking about sweet, tasty treats that are made with insects. You guys ever heard of that?
Well, I know, can't remember what store it was in the mall, but they used to have, like, sitting at the front desk, just chocolate-covered crickets all the time. And I'd buy them, but I wouldn't eat them. So
what would you do with them?
I'd give them to friends and stuff.
Would they eat them?
Yeah, I think so.
I've recently just seen, and I can't remember where it was at. It was either Joplin or Neosho. I stopped into a gas station, used the bathroom, grab a drink. And at the front register, they had the lollipops with different insects inside of them. And I really thought about maybe getting like the scorpion one or the something crazy.
That'd been cool.
It would have been cool. Yeah. So what are some tasty treats? Well, you can, I looked on Amazon and you can buy chocolate covered insects on Amazon.
Well, that sounds great, but
we got a winter celebration party coming up.
We do.
Maybe that should be part of the White Elephant gift exchange.
Actually, I'm gonna get on Amazon when we're done. Now that's a good idea. No, but crickets for a long time have been used in different proteins, but they've been gaining popularity recently, especially with dietary changes and things.
Okay.
So there's flour made from crickets and mealworms, protein powders, pasta from the flour.
Oh, wow.
From crickets. Who doesn't love a good cricket spaghetti? Crackers,
Jiminy.
chips. Probably Jiminy is not a huge fan of cricket spaghetti. But then bread. So pretty much anything that you would cook with flour, you can substitute it with like a cricket flour.
That's something we should do at a potluck here. And not tell anybody.
You're right. I'm going to get cricket flour and I'm going to make something. So
how about kind of snacks? I mean, they got to be crunchy, right? Like grasshoppers. Like I've heard people. I might have eaten a grasshopper as a child.
On purpose?
Probably. It doesn't surprise me. I grew up in the country. I I probably just grabbed a grasshopper and ate it,
Oh,
or a lightning bug, right? Like,
I guess I'm not. I did eat a worm. I ate a worm.
insect-based flowers have a higher like protein content
I've heard that.
than traditional pastas.
Yeah.
So bodybuilders, they eat.
I think it was Shark Tank, had a guy on there that had, his product was like cricket flour.
Was it Jack?
Protein. He looked like it. I don't know.
Yeah.
So another reason it's beneficial, pests are beneficial, some protein.
Okay.
Roasted or fried, you can eat grasshoppers,
Mealworms.
and crickets. So it sounds a little crunchy, but we already talked about.
Man, seems like more of a novelty item than appetizer to me.
Well, that's just our culture. We're not used to eating insects.
Beverages, some craft beers and cocktails use insects, such as ants, for flavor. Garnish. Have you ever had you ever went down to Mother's and had a IPA that had carpenter ants all inside of it?
I probably had an IPA that had a bug in its name, but not that actually contained bugs. So,
like green grasshopper or whatever it is that you drink.
green grasshopper, sure.
This is just mind-boggling to me. Speaking of cultural, I'm reading this right now.
Mm-hmm.
Roasted grasshoppers, seasoned with lime and spices, commonly consumed in Mexico.
That's what you did, right? You squeezed a lime on the grasshopper and
No,
you just ate
I just grabbed it and probably ate a wing. I don't know.
berry. Silkworm pupa. It's a popular snack in parts of Asia, usually boiled or fried and served with spices.
Yeah, I don't even know what to say to this stuff. Egg dishes. I don't even like deviled eggs. Why would I eat an ant egg dish?
It's like caviar. It's like fish eggs.
No, locusts eaten in Middle Eastern and African cuisines.
Fried or roasted. That's a great source of protein.
I'm sure it's great, but I would rather just do a protein shake.
Okay.
Protein place. Insect-based pet foods. Yeah, this is not appetizing conversation at all. I think we should just move on. So, to our listeners, there are some benefits of eating insects, I guess, if you want to dabble in that.
Yeah.
Apparently, Jordan here is going to go Amazon grass-covered.
I might just replace my protein with cricket protein.
That's just odd.
Let's do it. I'm going to do it.
Well, we don't have to do customer questions because that was our base of our episode today. So, to answer a lot of questions that we had coming in.
Yeah.
So 5-star review of the day. We got one right here from Nathan Evans 1 day ago. Bug Zero has been professional and easy to work with from start to finish. Their text message communication option was especially helpful when arranging the service date, and then again helpful when our technician Aaron gave me a heads up that he was on his way. Aaron showed on time and was very knowledgeable, patient to share with me what he was doing, what was happening with our house, etc. It's so nice to work with true and trustworthy professionals. Bug Zero definitely fits that bill. We will use them again. Nice. Thanks, Nathan. Good job, Aaron, too. And so that kind of brings us to the end of the episode today. Until next time. So, we've got episode next week.
Yeah.
And then we got Christmas week.
Right.
So we might have a special visitor for Christmas week on the show.
Who might visit us?
I don't know, maybe somebody from the North Pole.
Oh,
so and we'll be off. A couple weeks for the holidays, kind of recoup before we start up another season of podcasts. Right?
Yeah.
You got anything else you want to add?
No. Really, the only thing is, if any of our listeners do happen to eat these insects, please video it and send it to me so we can share it.
Where do they send it to, Jordan?
sales@bugzero.com, or they can send it to our Facebook page.
That's what we need to do. Maybe we should start a thread there for videos of listeners eating covered insects.
Maybe I'll start the thread off. Maybe we'll get a video of me eating it first.
You never know.
Do it.
I think we're onto something here.
We are.
So,
all right.
Well, thanks for listening today on What's the Buzz podcast by Bug Zero. I'm Shawn,
And I'm Jordan.
and we'll talk to you guys next week. See you next time.
Creepy crawlers invading your home? Bug zero. Spiders, ant, and flies? Oh my. Bug zero. Bed bugs and mosquitoes leave you itchy for help? Bug zero. Whether it's bugs in your home or bugs eating your home, Bug Zero has you protected. With both residential and commercial services, Bug Zero's comprehensive pest protection takes you from infestation to extermination.